you back in geological knowledge. So we are dealing with the previous year question papers of combined geosciences examination, and so far we have discussed the 2019 paper and 2018 paper. We have discussed geology paper 1 and geology paper 2. So in the continuation of that discussion, today we will discuss the remaining part, that is the geology paper 3 and paper 4, geology paper 3 and hydrogeology paper. Okay, so let's start our discussion. So firstly we will talk about the paper number 3, or the economic geology part. So the first question, that is the compulsory part. So first question dealing with the reserve and the occurrence of gold deposits in India. Okay, so the reserve and the occurrences of gold deposit in India. So that you have to write down, and remember that the question is that you have to just have a look that in which form it has been asked, whether it's a long question or a short question. Okay, so on the basis of the behavior of the question or how the question has been asked, so that is very important for one to understand. Okay, in short question, if that has been asked, so you have to write down as per the need. Okay, and second one is the mineralogy and classification of chromite deposits in India. Okay, so chromite deposits, their mineralogy. Okay, so that you have to discuss in detail. Okay, and mineralogy, there are not so many minerals of chromite. We all know that is chromite, that is FeCr2O4, generally the chemical formula. So that is the major mineral of chromite ores. Okay, that is the only ore of chromite, as you can see, for the extraction of the chromite. Okay, and you have to also write down the classification of chromite deposits. Okay, the classification of chromite deposits in India means how they have been classified. Okay, and C part is common rock types found in skarn deposits and factors that controls the skarn mineralization. So skarn types of deposit, as you know, that is they are formed by the metamorphic processes. Okay, if you understand the skarn deposits, if you would have studied about the skarn deposit, then you will be knowing that how the skarn minerals or the skarn deposits, they are being formed. Okay, so that you have to discuss in detail. And next question is the induced polarization method of geophysical exploration. Okay, so induced polarization method, that you have to discuss. You know that is there are several electrical methods like self potential method, the equipotential method, or the electromagnetic method, as well as the resistivity method. Okay, and you have to talk about the induced potential method. Okay, next one is question number 1E, reserve, probable reserve and the hypothetical reserve for the mineral commodities. Okay, the definitions of the reserve, probable reserve and the hypothetical reserve. So what you have to discuss means their definition and how they have been classified. So reserve, the probable reserve, probable means probably on the basis of the geophysical exploration or the prospecting methods, that where the minerals that may occur. Okay, or the hypothetical means only on the basis of some theories. Okay, so that you have to discuss. And 1F, that is the geobotanical indicators of ore deposits. Okay, so the plants and flora that you have to discuss, which are the geobotanical indicators of the deposits. And 1G, that is describe briefly about the structural oil traps. Okay, so you have to talk about the or write down the structural oil traps. So you all will be knowing that there are two types of traps, the structural traps as well as the stratigraphic traps. Okay, and the next one is stratigraphic status of navally lignite deposits in India. Okay, stratigraphic status means about the stratigraphy you have to write down about the navally lignite deposits. Okay, and 1I, that is the remedial measures of landslides, that what are the measures, precautionary measures which can be used for the prevention of the landslides. Okay, so in this you have to discuss the methods which are commonly used for the prevention of the landslides. Okay, like the reducing the slopes, means the slides in the impervious material, they can be reduced by reducing slopes. Okay, and you have to also check the surface water to enter into the unstable groundwater. So if the surface water that is entering into the unstable water, that is diverted and made to run off as rapidly as possible away from that area. Okay, so that is another very important phenomena or the prevention that we can take care of. And we can also in the impervious type of material, the landslide, that can also be prevented by increasing the internal friction of the mass by lowering the water content. So these are some methods which you can use for the prevention of landslide in a particular area. Okay, so that we have to discuss. And 1J, that is the compressive strength of the rock. Okay, so that you have to discuss about the compressive strength of the rock. So these are 10 compulsory questions, and if you understand the basics, then it will be not very tough for you to answer the particular questions. Now we come to the unit section, and first question dealing with the describe in detail about the mineralogy, modes of occurrence and the origin as well as the distribution of nickel deposits in India. So you all know that is in this unit you will get at least one long question related to Indian deposits. Okay, so all in all you have to discuss about their minerals, their mode of occurrence, their origin and distribution in India. And second one is 2B, that is discuss in detail about United Nations framework classification of mineral resources and the reserve. Okay, so you have to talk about all types of reserve as well as the resources. And 3A, that is give an account of the marine mineral resources of India. Okay, so marine mineral resources of India, that we have to talk about. Okay, and 3B is describe the use, occurrence and distribution of gypsum in India. So gypsum, their uses, occurrences as well as the distribution in Indian subcontinent, that you have to discuss about. And third C, that is discuss in brief about the strategic and critical minerals, means what are the strategic and critical minerals, what are their significance, you can also write down, and some important critical and strategic minerals that you can also pinpoint here. Okay, so I think third question, where you have got three questions, okay, the marine mineral resources and the gypsum distribution or the strategic and critical mineral, that will be a easy question for one to attempt rather than the nickel and the UNFC classification. Okay, but that's my opinion. You can cover up any of the question, but you have to cover that question which is more known to you. Okay, if you know the particular answer of any question like question number 2 or question number 3, that you can cover according to your choice. Okay, third question is fourth question or the unit section C. So describe the association of different magma types with ore deposits. And you have to also explain the role of geochemical behavior of elements in the deposition of ore formation, or the in elements of ore formation. Okay. And 4b, name two mineral commodities for which gravity method of geophysical exploration that may be employed, and you have also to discuss the principle and corrections of the gravity survey. Okay, so you have to name two mineral commodities for which gravity methods of geophysical exploration that can be employed, and that discuss the principle as well as the correction of gravity survey. Okay, so you can see that is in the long question you have to discuss the three things. 5a, discuss the role of fluids in the mineralization in magmatic system. Means the role of fluids in the process of the magmatic crystals, mineralization in the magmatic systems, and what controls the solubility of water in silicate melts. Okay, what controls the solubility of water in the silicate melts. And 5b, that is what are kimberlites and from where these rocks are reported in India. Mention, you have to also mention the relationship between kimberlites and the formation of diamonds. Okay, so we all know that is diamond that is occurring in Panna, MP region of Panna, Panna region of MP. As you can see, that is the well known locality for the diamond occurrence. Okay, and that occurs in the kimberlite pipes. Okay, 5c, that is you have to describe the metallogenesis through the geological time. Means how the metallogeny that has taken place through the geological time. Okay, so firstly you will have to talk about, or you will have to discuss about the metallogenesis. So metallogeny and metallogenesis, that is the you have to talk about. Okay, and metallogenesis means the so most of the minerals deposits, that is deposits of one type are formed in regions during the definite periods in the earth's history. So what is metallogenesis? So metallogenesis can be defined, that is the most of the mineral deposits of one type, they are formed in regions during the definite period in the earth's history, and such deposits, they constitute the metallogenic epochs. Okay, so this process is known as metallogenesis. Okay, and for example we can say that chromite deposits, they found in the Archean rocks, okay, which are affiliated to ultramafic igneous rocks, and they are formed in the regions of the crustal disturbance during the period of igneous intrusions, and the best example is the Odisha state. Okay, the chromite, most of the chromite deposits, they are occurring in the Odisha state, so that forms a metallogenesis epoch. Okay, and these deposits constitute a metallogenic epoch. Okay, so in that terms you have to talk about the describe the metallogenesis through the geological times. This means how the metallogenesis has takes place as per the geological time scale, and you have to also illustrate your answer with one major ore deposit of India. So you can talk about any type of any major deposit like iron ore or the chromite ore or the bauxite ore. So you have to discuss, illustrate your answer with one major ore deposit of India. So you can talk about any of the deposit as per your choice. Okay, and next the section D. So here's 6a question, that is describe the main types of core drilling techniques and also write how planning for a core drilling of a sub horizontal and a steeply dipping deposit steeply dipping deposit will be undertaken. Okay, so you have to talk about the main type of core drilling techniques, and you have to also write that how planning for a core drilling of a sub horizontal and steeply dipping deposit that will be undertaken. And 6b, that is what do you understand by the coefficient of aqueous migration, and you have to also write about the factors that controls the strength of a geochemical anomaly and describe the Hawk's model relating to the size of the mineralization with the strength of geochemical anomaly. Okay, so that you have discussed in detail. Question number 7a, that is describe induced and included and excluded area methods of ore reserve estimation for a irregular grid sample deposit. So that we have discussed in detail. We have talked about 3 or 4 videos. We have talked about the basic principles as well as the methods of ore reserve estimation. In that playlist you can go and watch that video. 7b, what are the different types of sampling errors, and you have to describe the Guy's theory for the minimization of those errors. Okay, so there are some sampling errors which are occurred while the process of sampling. When we go for the sampling in a particular field area or in particular area, so during the process of that sampling there are some errors which occurs. Okay, so that you have to discuss about the different types of sampling errors, and you have to also describe the Guy's theory for the minimization of these errors. Okay, and 7c, there is a numerical here. So estimate ore reserve of estimates of ore reserve of a zinc deposit by cross section method with the following data, and you have to assume a dilution factor of 10%. Use the rule of influence for defining the strike length, and you have to also calculate the average grade of the ore also. Okay, so the data has been provided here. You have been sections, the section area in square kilometers you have been given, the grade in percentage, the bulk density in gram per cubic centimeter that has been provided. Okay, and you have to calculate the average grade of the ore. Okay, and some other things that have been given. Okay, next one is section E. So 8a, you have to describe in detail the transformation of organic matter into oil and gas. Means what are the processes or how the organic matter that is transformed into a oil and gas, and what is the role of temperature in this transformation. And 8b, that is discuss the coal characteristic in terms of lithotypes and macerials. So in the 2019 paper the question was there, and 2018 paper the question is again here. Okay, so we have talked about that is the microlithotypes of coal, the proximate and ultimate analysis of the coal. Okay, so that is, these are two very important topics of the coal petrology. Okay, and you will get question from there. So the same is given here, the coal characteristic in terms of lithotypes and macerials, and you have to also describe the coal classification based on its chemistry. Okay, and ninth one is what is oil shale, and briefly explain the problems of recovery of oil from the oil shale. Means what are the oil shale and what are the major problems which are encountered during the recovery of oil from the oil shale. Ninth B is you have to enumerate the types of environment for the formation of radioactive mineral deposits. Means what are the environments in which the radioactive minerals they will form, and describe the radioactive methods in petroleum exploration. Okay, the radioactive method in the exploration of petroleum, so that you have to talk about or write about that thing. And section F, So 10A question is give an account of the geological investigation at bridge site for the stability of a bridge. So if you are at a bridge site and you have to go for the geological investigation, so what will be the factors or investigations that you will go for the stability of a bridge? Okay, so that you have to talk about or write about. And 10B, you have to explain the various groundwater problems in connection with the construction of dams and tunnels. Okay, so how various groundwater problems they are encountered during the construction of dams and tunnel particularly. Okay. 11A, give an account of the types of forces to be accounted for in the construction of dams in the seismically active areas. Okay, the areas which are seismically active, so what are the types of forces that you have to account in the construction? Okay, and 11B, that is explain the uh, excavating uh, excavating cycle of a tunnel during the construction in a hard rock terrain. Okay, and 11C, describe the different types of coastal protection structures. Okay, so what are the major types of structures which are uh, built for the protection of coastal areas? Okay, so that you have to talk about. And now we will talk about the hydrogeology section. Okay, so in hydrogeology section, firstly we will talk about the compulsory part. So there are 8 questions. As you know that in hydrogeology part you will get 8 questions generally of 5 marks each. So first one is transmissivity of an aquifer, Vadose zone, spatial resolution in remote sensing, piezometer, Reynolds number, cone of depression, GRACE satellite data finding for groundwater status, and check dams. Okay, so these are all are easy, very easy questions. I have doubt in one question, that is the GRACE satellite data finding from groundwater for groundwater status. I have no idea about this question, but the remaining 7 questions they are very easy for one to understand. Okay, and you have to keep in mind that there are 8 questions only. Okay. Next one is section B. You have to attempt any one question. So 2A, that is describe the role of Vadose zone in water balance equation. Means what is the role of Vadose zone in the water balance equation. And 2B is what are the aquifers, means you have to define aquifers and explain the different types of aquifers and their characteristic with suitable diagrams. So you have to talk about aquifers and their types like confined aquifer, unconfined aquifer. Okay. 2C, that is describe the salient features of different groundwater provinces of India. So that we have discussed in detail. Okay, the different groundwater provinces of India, you can go into the playlist of hydrogeology part in channels playlist and you can watch that video. Question number 3A, define the origin of Sambhar Lake and its relation with the surrounding aquifers. Means the origin of Sambhar Lake, means how that origin has originated. Okay, and its relation with the surrounding aquifers. To question number 3B, that is how are the groundwater levels affected by the tides and the weather fluctuations. Okay, so how the groundwater levels they are affected by the occurrences of tides and weather fluctuation in a particular area. Okay. And question number 3C, you have to classify the rocks based on their water bearing properties. Okay, so classify the rocks on the basis of their water bearing properties. Okay. Question number 4A or section C, as you can see, so here is a diagram. I will have to zoom it out just to read it. So the water table elevation given in meter as shown in meter above mean sea level measured from observation wells of an area. They are shown in map number 1, and after drawing the water table contour you have to discuss about the groundwater flow direction as well as its significance. Okay, so here the map is given here and you have to draw the contour. You have to draw the water tables contours and also discuss about the groundwater flow directions and the significance of it. Okay, and question number B, you have to define the hydraulic conductivity and explain the field methods of determining the hydraulic conductivity of aquifer media. Okay, definition of hydraulic conductivity and explain the field methods for the determination of hydraulic conductivity. There are two types of methods, field method and the laboratory methods. So you have to talk about the write down about field methods. Question number C, what is meant by porosity and explain the types of porosities encountered in various rock types. Then you have to add a note on two aquifer properties involved in the porosity. Okay, so that you have to discuss in detail. Question number 5A, that is explain the factors controlling groundwater flow and highlight the type of flow encountered in different kinds of aquifers. Okay, factors controlling the groundwater flow. 5B, there is a numerical given here and pumping tests were conducted in a set of 4 wells designated as A, B, C and D with the pumping rate of 100 cubic meter per day in each well, and the semi-log plot of the drawdown versus time that has been shown in the following drawdown log per cycle as delta S values as per output. And after the calculation, the aquifer transmissivity is using Jacobs method, straight line equation. You have to compare the nature of the aquifer in these wells, and you have to also find out the best performing wells. So the Jacobs, themes and all these methods, now these are not in your syllabus. Okay, so you can quit it out. And question number 5C, that is what are groundwater models and give an account on the protocols of the groundwater models available for the water resource evaluation. Okay, so that you have to talk. Section number D, so there is question number 6A, that is what are the elements of interpretation adopted in satellite images. Okay, for the reading of the satellite images, what are the elements that you have to interpret and give an account on the role of remote sensing in groundwater exploration. Okay, means what type of role they play in the remote groundwater exploration. 6B, there are 3 subparts and we have to write down the short notes on the following. So principles of seismic refraction method, Brugger anomaly and the proton precession magnetometer. And question number 6C, what are the basic principles which are involved in the electrical resistivity methods and give an account on the type of surface electrical resistivity methods employed in the groundwater exploration. Okay, so you have to talk about the electrical resistivity method and the types of surface electrical resistivity methods which are employed in the exploration of groundwater. Okay, question number 7A, that is what are the water wells, and you have to give an account on the methods which are adopted in the design, development and the maintenance of various types of tube wells. And question number 7B, you have to explain the water well drilling methods employed in the groundwater exploration of hard rock terrain. Okay, if you have to explore or you have to explore the water in a hard rock terrain, so what will be the method you have to employ, that you have to talk about. And question number 7C, what are the basic principles which are involved in well logging, and give an account on the method of subsurface geophysical logging employed for the hydrogeological interpretations. Okay, so that is the question number 7C. Next one is section E. So there are again 5 subpart of question number 8A. How do the following parameters affect the use of groundwater? Okay, the parameters, how they affect the use of groundwater. So parameters being hardness, pH scale, EC, that is electrical conductivity, or sorry, electrical conductance, and sodium absorption ratio, that is called as SAR in short form, and fluoride contamination or fluoride. Okay, so how these 5 parameters they affect the use of groundwater. Okay, so that you have to talk about. 8B, you have to name various graphical representation techniques of groundwater hydrochemical data, and explain the one in which used for the classification of groundwater in various phases. Okay, so you have to explain the one in which is used for the classification of groundwater into various phases. So various phases, I think Piper diagram that we have to discuss in detail. Okay, I am not sure, but Piper diagram is that is used for the phases. Okay, groundwater phase that classify the groundwater into various phases. So Piper diagram is used for that cause. And 8C, what is radon, and you have to explain its implications in hydrogeology, means how it affect the groundwater. Question number 9A, you have to discuss the major challenges in the implementation of groundwater related regulatory measures in India. 9B, you have to explain the following pertaining to the groundwater management, the supply side measures and the demand side measures. So that you have to talk. And 9C, that is a numerical given here. You have to calculate the total annual rainfall runoff. The total annual rainfall runoff which is available from a rooftop area of 2080 square meters. Okay, with surface runoff coefficient 0.8 and average annual rainfall of 600 millimeter. Okay, so you have been given here you have to calculate the total annual rainfall runoff which is available from a rooftop area of 2080 square meter with the surface runoff coefficient given as 0.8 and available annual rainfall of 600 millimeters. Okay, so that you have to talk about. Okay, so this was our discussion about the 2018 paper. Today we have talked about the geology paper 3, that is economic geology paper, and the hydrogeology paper. Okay, and in the next video we will talk about the 2017 paper. So we have discussed 2019 and 18 paper, and 17 and 2016. So 4 years question paper we will discuss, and if you solve these 4 years question paper, I think you will understand the types of questions and how, more importantly, how you have to write down the answers. Okay, so answer writing practice, that is very necessary. Okay, otherwise you will not be able to attempt all the questions. You will be knowing the answer of these particular questions, but because of the lack of the time or the lack of time management, you will miss the questions. Okay, so answer writing practice, that is very important. And when the 15 days or 20 days will be remaining before the exam, I will talk about that how you have to answer writing practice, that we will do in 2 or 3 videos. Okay, so in next video we will talk about the 2017 paper. Okay, thank you.